Hi, Posh fam. Welcome back. Yet another episode of the Bachelor AU. Let's dig right in. 4 episodes in 1 week is starting to sound like an overkill, even for Channel 10. The Bachelor AU has sort of lost its spunk, and with the many episodes being churned out in 1 week, just makes it unexciting, and you don't get to have that dramatic ends anymore. There is no anticipation of what's next because you know tomorrow you're going to find out what's next. And that's exactly how it's been the last couple of weeks since the premiere of The Bachelor AU Season 10. Now we're going to get into tonight's episode, like a rundown or run through of the event. That was episode 7. It's pretty interesting. We'll just get into that. Now, for some housekeeping, guys, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, comment, and like my videos, and thank you for doing so. And so let's just find out how this whole crazy episode 7 started. We saw the dramatic footsteps of someone, coming out of the car. And we did get a teaser from the end of the episode 6 that one of those 3 runaway bachelorettes were coming back into the show. Now, we don't know exactly who at this point because it just cut straight to the event of the night, which centered amongst 2 girls, and that is Tilly and Krystal. So these are Felix women. The women vie for his love, and apparently they hate each other. It appears the rose ceremony from episode 6 ended with a little bit of tension. It became apparent because production was still filming after the rose ceremony had come to an end. And Krystal, like I said earlier, was front and center with all the drama. Apparently she was jealous that Tilly cornered Felix again to have a quick one-on-one session. For me, it's becoming a little bit too much from Krystal. Now, I can understand that emotions are starting to develop amongst these women for this men, and so they are unable to hide their jealousy and anger, especially when the camera crew is favoring one and when all the attention is going to one and not them. And I think that's the case with Krystal. For every time Tilly has a conversation with Felix, she gets angry or she sees red. And it's starting to become a little bit uncomfortable to watch because I'm not sure why she's acting this way. You are on a show that pretty much promotes dating multiple people at the same time. And to Felix's annoyance, I think he actually walked off in anger because it was not something that he wanted to deal with, which is very typical. You sort of throw the dice and you expect everyone else to just fall and roll along. Well, it's not the case. And so he walked off and nothing was resolved on the night. What would you know? Open relationship are sort of hectic. So it's a new day with new set of group single dates. So coming on this date for Jed is Angela, for Thomas is Lauren, and for Felix is Tilly. And yet again, we see Krystal see red. She was not happy. And I think she is production gold because every time she's having a diary session, she is pretty much ranting and swearing and just being a little bit aggressive. Sorry, I said it. It's not a word that I like to use, especially as it comes to the stereotype for African women, but Chick is coming a bit too much. Like I said, all of what she's doing is just not necessary. Like the other things you could do, but not this. Yeah, I said it. Now, this particular group single date was a bit suggestive in that they went to a burlesque type a clubhouse and it became apparent. I think the name of the clubhouse is called Flamingo. It became apparent that what producers were trying to do here, because we all know Tilly and Felix have got such massive sexual chemistry, and having to have them at a suggestive, sensual sort of dance date would definitely ignite fireworks, and that is exactly what happened. Felix and Tilly were busy the entire time not having a conversation. Now, it was supposed to be a single date where you get to know each other, or a single group date or group single date, however you want to see it. But these two were like dogs on heat. And I mean, it was bad. They kept touching, they kept kissing each other, rubbing. It was just too much. At least Thomas and Lauren, are having a conversation. Lauren, in my opinion, is such an old school romantic. She held her own and kept the conversation with series of very, very tough questions for Thomas. Thomas at one point seemed a little bit uncomfortable and pleased at the same time that she was keeping him on his toes, literally, quite literally. Now, do I think or do I see any potentials between these two? I would say conceptualizing it in the context and premise of this season, yeah, nah. I just feel like the season lost the essence of what the show is sort of about. It's now more for TV ratings than actual trying to matchmake people to find their potential soulmates. Jed and Angela, for me, it felt like struggle street. I don't see anything going further. There was nothing exciting between these two. It was just blah for me. Like, I was like, nah. The date continued onto the Bachelor batch pad. While Thomas, Lauren, Jed, and Angela were engaging, each other with words, for the most part, Felix and Tilly couldn't help but continue the makeout session that they started at the Flamingo date night. It basically went from that to the pool, and yeah, you can see from those pictures, it was really steamy and pretty much heated. The For me, the level of intimacy went way beyond what is appropriate for prime TV. But again, that's just my opinion. I am just, trying to say it as I see it. It was uncomfortable. It made for an uncomfortable watch, personally. So Tilly and the other girls came back from their single dates, and it didn't take long before the other girls wanted to know exactly what happened during the date. Tilly this time, decided she wasn't going to share anything. Guilty as we all knew. She didn't want to share. She didn't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. And also she just wanted to have the moment to herself, according to her. Krystal wasn't buying it. She had a bone to pick. I'm now calling her the bone collector. Not willing to let go of trying to find out what happened at Tilly's date with Felix. It just made it once again uncomfortable, for everyone. She is cuckoo. Crazy for Felix. And just crazy in general. Now, there was also a group date, with some of the girls that missed out on the single dates. And during this date, or rather, they all had to go to a park, and they had to do multiple games. I think Thomas's group had to learn Italian. That was so funny. And here we are again. Krystal had all this pent up stress. Chick is about to have a high blood pressure, just overwhelming herself in the fact that she wanted to know all that happened or all that went down with Tilly and Felix. She did not give up. She kept digging for information, not satisfied at what she got from Tilly. She confronted Felix, who none the wiser spilled some details. For me, I was like, whoa, this is getting out of hand. Now, I couldn't wait for the rose ceremony to come, and it did. Rose ceremony came with a curveball. Two girls were definitely leaving on tonight's episode. Jed gave Bella, Lou, Courtney, and Alicia a rose. Thomas gave Kiki, Christine, and Jasmine a rose. And tonight, Felix was going to lose two of his girls. Basically, he was going to be sending two girls home tonight. Tilly and Krystal, who was almost about to pass out, each got a rose, leaving Ebony and Naomi without a rose, and they both exited the show. Now, wait. There is more. Okay? And what more do you trying to what more? I'll tell you. Basically, Tash is back, and the camera zoomed right into her. Again, like I said, from how it started at the beginning of episode 7, she was exiting the car, and we saw her walking up the lift onto the batch pad, headed for the 74th floor. Obviously, we all know that the bachelors were handing out roses at the rose ceremony, so they were not in the pad at the time, but they were not at the pad at the time Tash got there. Of course, production knew what they were doing, and so they let her in to hang out and wait to sort of surprise the guys. Let's just take a glimpse at what sort of transpired, or the shock that the guys received when they walked in.
Tash is back.
Oh my god. Well, episode 8 is certainly going to kick off. I cannot wait to unpack episode 8 with you guys. I would like to see how this whole thing unfolds and how it was resolved. Was she sent home? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of I'm curious. I want to know how this whole thing. In fact, she looks as high as a kite. Am I the only one that is noticing this? She looks as high as a kite. Anyway, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. Like I said, I wanted to keep it very short and just focus on the storyline. We didn't get anything from Jessica and Damien, John Kelly. But I guess we're gonna definitely go back and revisit those trio soon. Until then, guys, stay safe and be focused. Thank you.